Alrighty, here we go. We're going to be talking about adrenal issues, adrenal insufficiency, all that stuff. And oops, and I'm going to address some recent questions I had based on asking questions on social media or having people ask me questions on social media. I'm going to be going through and answering them. This is a great way to just let you know, like, hey, sometimes it's not an easy, quick answer. And it's really helpful to understand where things are coming from, or if you're thinking, gosh, what do I do about this? Or how do I address this or that? Or what's the best route for this, right? It's super nice to have a direct explanation for you versus just a quick, like 15-second clip of it. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, to start off, I did a talk yesterday at my alma mater, and we talked about hormone testing, things like that, as well as what I've been seeing recently. And I get questions all the time from students, and I love it because they're always wondering, like, what's going on? What are you seeing? What are the best things to do to deal with this? So I'm going to talk about it. Now, again, when I talk about hormone testing, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about really is specific for the person. We do make specific recommendations based on your health history, right? So certain things matter. If you have adrenal issues and a history of thyroid issues too, what we talk about is going to be different than somebody who doesn't have thyroid issues, right? Or if you're worried about thyroid or something like that. Your activity level, your sleep schedule, what is your overall life like? We take those things into account. And what's really important about this is that I really feel like a lot of people don't understand that it matters. You know what I mean? To say, oh, well, you're really stressed and your cortisol is a big issue and it's negatively impacting your adrenals. Oh, just don't stress as much. Excuse me? Excuse me? That's not helpful, right? It's not helpful just to be told don't stress as much. Well, of course, I would love that. I would love to not stress as much. I would love to not have those types of issues. Thank you. Yeah, that would be great. That'd be phenomenal, in fact. But how do I actually apply it? Or what are the top things? Because there's a list of 50 things to try and reduce stress. What are the things that I should focus on? What are the things that are going to be the best for me? That's the question that a lot of people want to know the answer to. What's going to help me the most? What should I focus on? And where should I narrow my energy? There's so much information out there right now where it can be really, really, really overwhelming. It can be really intimidating to figure out where to get started. And more often than not now, what I am also seeing is that people have lost trust and aren't sure where to get started or what's even good anymore, right? There's just the over information. And then I'll just say the state of the world and how things are, it can be really tough to figure out, okay, what is the best thing for me? How do I navigate this? And if someone says, do this or do that, is that what's right for me? Why are they saying this? Are they motivated to say this or whatever? So just to kind of put this out there, my goal behind this is to give you guys information, right? To make a next step, to help you set some parameters on how to move forward. I talk about Dutch testing. I love Dutch tests. I love doing a dried urine test for checking hormone levels, nutrient levels, everything else. It's so in-depth and accurate and functionally relevant, more than a blood test. More than a blood test. So that's why I really, really love doing a Dutch test. However, Dutch tests, like, I'm just a, Dutch practitioner, right? You can get a Dutch test done by somebody else. It doesn't have to be with me. If you learn information and decide I want to do a Dutch test and you don't choose to do it with me, that's fine, right? At least you're getting that in-depth information, right? If you even go to the Dutch website, like, I'm going to be listed there as a practitioner, but there's also other ones. Some people want to work with somebody local and in person, right? That's great. If this leads you in a direction where it gives you some guidance and it gives you a next step, that's fantastic, right? That's absolutely the goal here. And again, like, this is just me sharing information here off of my knowledge, education, expertise, the experiences I've had with thousands of women for a decade and a half now, working through all this stuff. So let's talk about, now I have some questions and answers that I'm going to go through in detail, but first I want to talk about the adrenal issues, what I've been seeing. And I've got a couple of examples. So I love to show this. This is a real life Dutch test. This gal is in her mid 30s and this is what her levels are. I just went through this. Like I just went through this. She took the test last month, right? She took the test last month. This is a real life example here. On the floor. Her adrenals are on the floor. And she's wondering why she doesn't have any other hormone levels. What about fertility? What about other things? How do I get this going, right? How do I navigate this, right? And it's not enough to say, oh, just take this supplement. Oh, just do this thing. Or, oh, your estrogens are low or your progesterone is low. Oh, should I take inositol? That can help increase progesterone. Is that the right fit? No, because your testosterone is also low. We don't want it to decrease your testosterone, right? So there's very specific recommendations that we make based on this. But overwhelming